Well, I love business because business is everywhere. You know, it's the money in your pocket. How did it get there? Do you want more? Do you want less? It's your first job. Do you really want to pursue that career that you're in, or will you change, 15 industries between now and when you retire? It's in politics. It's being able to wake up in the morning and read the newspaper and understand exactly what the newspaper is telling you, which is often difficult for the common person. I like business also because it's about leadership. What are the characteristics that you possess that allow you to transform other people and transform yourself to, higher order performance? It's also about ethics and moral behavior. We know that that's a very, very important and common theme that we see in business and politics today. And maybe we need to transform, the ideal of an MBA student to somebody who's more ethically minded, who's more morally minded, an individual who cares about the environment, who cares about the greening of the world. And I think we're moving in that transition now for not only MBA students, but undergraduate business students as well. So in my opinion, business encompasses a lot of things that are around us every single day. One of the challenges I think that business students face when they come into a program is they often take the lens of a senior leader when we're analyzing business situations. So you are in effect the chief accounting officer looking at financial statements, or the chief strategy officer, or the chief marketing officer, or perhaps you're the CEO looking at the corporate strategic objectives of the firm. I think students who are 18, 19, 20 years old have a very difficult time in putting themselves in that position. These are seasoned business veterans, and we often use these types of business case studies when we're studying principles and concepts in the business school. And unfortunately for a student, they're going to have to fast forward their career 40 years to put themselves in that position. So I think it's important for students to realize that what we're doing is we're providing them with a toolbox. Here's a monkey wrench, here's a screwdriver, here's a tape measure. These are the tools that are going to be available to you to solve these business problems for the next 40 years of your career. We know we're asking you to pretend to be a CEO, which you clearly will not be. But what we are in effect doing is giving you the opportunity to learn how to use these analytical tools to solve these problems today that'll set the foundation for the rest of your career. If you want to really succeed in business, you better be a strong character. You need to be ambitious. You need to be achievement-oriented. Most importantly, you need to have fantastic communication skills, both orally and written. Don't come into business because you couldn't write in high school and therefore didn't want to go into humanities. Don't come into business because you weren't good in science courses and therefore don't think you're going to need any analytical capability. You're going to need those things in business. You need to be strong-willed. If you don't know how to sell yourself and communicate to the marketplace, no one's going to want to buy what you got to sell. You've got to be confident in yourself and maintain that leadership skill so that when you walk into a crowd, people look at you and say, wow, that person looks like they're a business grad. They're confident, they're ambitious, they're very, very articulate. Those are the most important skills that I believe you need to be successful in business. Some of the students hone those skills quite well over the course of their degree. But if you decide to sit back in the back of the classroom, if you decide never to put up your hand during your 4-year undergraduate degree, if you decide never to participate in the classroom whatsoever, you will not do well in the business school. If you are an opinionated individual and always want to voice what you've got to say, you will do well in the business school. Those are the types of individuals that I believe succeed in the business world and use their business degree as a springboard for the rest of their career. You graduate from a business school program, you have more jobs available to you than any other degree going. And the reason for that is because the whole world is about business. You were in medical school and you wanted to work in a hospital, why don't you work on the business side of the hospital? You go into poli-sci because you want to go work for the government, why don't you work on the corporate business side of government? You can have a marketing position, you can have a position in accounting, a position in finance, a position in strategy. The world is your oyster with a business degree, and that is why it is one of the most popular undergraduate degrees of any other program in Canada.